Uh-oh. I forgot to hardline in. Give me a minute. It's probably, yeah, it's fine. Let's do this. Oh, sorry, Nugget. Oh, shoot. Sorry, Nugs. In here, if you want to come over here. Nugget. All right, now I can shit off my desk. Awesome. There's a battery on the floor somewhere. One more moment. Hold on. Okay, I think we're ready. Not quite ready. Just about ready. I should be hardlined in. Maybe, maybe not. Whatever. Wow! Let's get some chip tunes going. Yeah, that's good. That's the good stuff right there. Let's turn it down. All right, and let's open that up, and I think just about ready to go. Close that. Close that. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. This is in the wrong screen. All right. I am ready to go. Once I answer this text message. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I can have better HTML forms. That's actually probably maybe not what I want to do. I'm going to start with something else today. Hold on a sec. So I got a new computer from work. They said, you know, you're doing such a good job and you're having so many issues with your stream lately that we need to invest in priority overnight shipping a computer with more power. So we're doing an unboxing today. I wonder if they sent me other stuff. It's like a medley of plastic. This is this is just the sleeve that's supposed to contain the computer. Hopefully there's a computer in here somewhere. Hey, yeah, there it is. Okay, I can feel it. All right, what have we got here? Oh, this thing's not super light. But I had the choice between a MacBook Air with the M1 chip, and I did not take that. I guess I'm on the wrong screen. I should be doing, let's move to here. That's much better. New computer. It's a Dell. It's 14-inch screen, which I love, but God, this thing is heavy. It's really nice though. Look at that. It's, I don't know. Oh shoot, is there a power cable for this thing? Yes, it is. Just kind of haphazardly thrown into... Oh! Wait. What the heck is this? It's like a USB, HDMI. Oh, it does have... Okay, cool. Got it. USB HDMI thing. I don't know. Might be helpful. Well, that's cool. Hopefully that means that these streams will have a little bit more power and not have so much jank in the future. But with that out of the way, let's go to actually getting some work done. So npm run dev. I think that should get my local Vite project up and running. Let's go localhost 3000. And yeah, I was working on forms. And what I wanted to do on this one, I realized that there's something that I'm missing, which is a really cool opportunity with these radios and checkboxes. We are looking at how to use the new has selector in CSS. Actually, yeah, that's all I need. And see how we can maybe kind of like give our forms some superpowers. Oh, here we go, VS Code. Come on, baby. Oh dang, I just saw that Melody Dev has a lot of people on right now. What's she up to? Yeah, I'll come back to that. Okay, so what I want to do, a couple of things here is let's open up this thing, and I want to show something that we can do a little bit cooler. I think, let's see, last time we had some validation on these inputs. Let's zoom in there. And I need to fix this a little bit. So let's get this fixed. Because what we're doing here is these radios are like custom SVG icons. The reason they are SVG icons is so that if I give this a color of yellow, so if I give this whole control a color of blue, then even the radio input gets it. That's why I did that. That's probably why I did that. I think that works all right. I almost feel like it could be a little bit better. I'm gonna see if I can do this a little bit better. Let's see. What are you complaining about? Yeah, that's fine. Radio and then input. Yeah, that's fine. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to visually show that input. So we see it right there. And I'm going to say, you are going to be... yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. What am I trying to do here? I think I want to do something like this. Let's go background I don't like. Box shadow. Let's do that. Current color. And I think what I want to do is position that before element here, checkbox before, there. Let's go. That's not what I want. Border color, magenta. What do I want? Okay, I need to get rid of these SVGs because that's not what I want. Where are those SVGs looking at? Control radio SVG, control hash head. Let's get rid of this. Let's go to these. Let's do the control radio. I don't think I love that. That's what I want it to look like. Yep. And then when I select it, I want my input, my radio there to be something like where's the appearance none? Appearance none. Here we go. Yes, I want the before to have something. I want the display to be inline block, inline size, and checked. I guess this is what I need here. Let's see. What do you have? I have my input. I have my before. Let's say my before is going to have content none. Okay, I see what the problem is. I see what the problem is. So let's reload that. The input itself should have, yeah, none of these. Appearance none, display grid, place items center. I want that. So let's get that back there. And then we're going to have the before and after. before and after are going to be defined as having content display inline size. We're going to get rid of these. We're going to get rid of those, and the grid area 1, 1. Now the before is going to have display inline size is going to be the same. Border is going to be the same. Don't need that. Let's save that. Let's see what we've got so far with this. We're going to say we should have the before and the after. The after, I want to have, let's add a rule there, and that after is going to be width of 0.3 m and height of 0.3 m, and then let's say background red. There we go. That's what I want. Something that sits kind of on the inside. I like that. Okay, inline block size. Here we go. We're going to take you and you. This. Put radio. Okay, okay, okay. Where's my after? I need something like this. Same thing, no border, only on the after, and the size is going to be 0.3 m. This is also going to apply to the after. Border radius. There we go. Now we've got it checked, looking good. And I need the after to have a background color of current color. All right, let's see what we've got here. Let's reload that. Cool, we've got checkboxes. The check should only appear when it's checked. So I think we're going to take this off of there, put it only on the before, and then when it's checked on the I'm going to comment that out, I think. Comment, copy, comment, paste. We're going to go on the AFTER. We're going to go content. That's going to display it or not. Cool. Checked, 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 not checked. Reload. Shouldn't be checked. We check that. Cool. Awesome. The input itself needs to have a border radius. There we go. Put that on the radius thing. Now when we zoom on it, cool. Love it. Let's go here. Let's get rid of these visually hidden doodads. Boom. Let's get rid of these guys. Input has to go before, that's fine. Cool. I'm gonna change this from focus. Let's see. Let's do oops. Let's find focus. Focus within. Focus visible. I'm gonna don't think we need this. Okay. Focused, cool. Now if I click on that, that's not what I want. Find focus. Okay, let's see if we can change these focus things to focus visible. All right, that's working a bit better. Let's see, I still have outline. Do I still have some focus state? Focus visible, focus visible, focus visible, focus visible. No. All right, I don't know why this is focused, or this has that focus style. So let's see, what do we need? Nope, not that, not that, that. If it's focus visible, interesting. Wrong thing. If this is focused, if it's focus visible, well, I don't know. That outline shouldn't be there though. But at least I solved it on these radios and checkboxes. Now the checkboxes are an interesting story because I think ideally those would actually have like a little check. I'm not going to go that far. I think that's fine. What I really wanted to get to was doing some more conditional states. So we're going to have, I don't know, we're going to have something here that says, let's see. I'm going to do results. And then we're going to say you selected span class. Let's see. Let me undo that. Let's do span results underscore underscore option, and then results option dash the number that we're going to have, and then the inner text is going to be option and then the number. Let's kick that off. Oops. Let's kick that off times 3. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, you selected option 1, 2, 3. And then with checkbox. How would I do this with checkboxes and then do another thing like that? So span something like this. Span dot results dot that option number checkbox number times 3. Cool. Get these spans, throw them on a new line, get rid of that. Okay, cool. You selected. So now what we can do is something kind of cool, I think, where, let's see, we've got the radio, we've got control, has input, blurred. Custom controls, cool. Input, yeah, has input, cool, we've got our radio options. I think I can get rid of this. Not really playing around with that anymore. I'm gonna get rid of this. And then there's one more thing. We've got conditional rendering content. We're gonna say form has, and I'm gonna say if we have ID radio 1 has this guy checked, cool, then we can say result option I'm gonna modify this actually. We're gonna call this something like, what do I want to call this? So what I want to do is conditional rendering based on with CSS, based on whether one of the options is selected. So I'm going to say, let me get this working first, and then we can do this. So I'm going to say, let's see, all of the result options, we're going to go, boop, boop, are going to be display none. And then if results option 1, these should actually be perp, 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 perp. Checkbox, whatever. No, just checked. Cool. So let's do that. U option and checkbox should be display none. Let's hit save on that. Let's hit save on that. Let's look at the results. Results show that it's not even showing anything. That's right. And then results option 1. We're going to say if the form has the radio 1 checked, then this guy is actually going to be display unset, whatever the default is. Cool. So now if we look at this and I select radio 1, it shows up. That's super cool. If we select radio 2, it goes away. So what we're going to do is actually do that same line, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. We're going to say radio 1, option 1. We're going to say 2, 3, and then 1, 2, oops, 2, 3, and then this option thing. Let's see, this radio should actually be checkbox, and then this result option should be checked, something like that. Something like that. Cool. If I check this, cool. Checkbox 2, checkbox 3, 1, 2, and 3. Radio. All right, that's pretty cool. Bam, 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 bam. I wonder if I can do CSS, comma, separator. Ba-da-da-dow. Ba-da-dow. Ba-da-da-dow. 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 Comma separated spans with pure CSS. Could do something like that. Let me see if I can do this. Let's go. Display none. Results checked before not first child before content is space, no, comma space. Okay, kind of almost there. Let's do after, and let's do not last child. There you go. So now, it doesn't quite work because they are still in the DOM. All right, that's all right. Okay, next thing I can do is, I want to only show this if any of the options are selected. So let's do results, P1, P2. I'm just going to do show the results. So only show the results. Results is going to be display none. And then if form has nope, that's not going to work. I need results options, something like that. Results options. Options. And then we'll do the same thing. Results. Checked. Checks. Sure. Okay, so we're going to do something like this. Results options and results checks. Everything's going to be display none. The options are going to be shown if any of the radios are checked. So something like, and we're just going to unset it, right? So we're going to have several classes that just have one single rule. So if the form has radio 1 checked or radio 2 checked or radio 3 checked, so let's see if we can knock that out with a where clause. Has where radio 1 checked or radio 2 checked or radio 3 checked. Close that up, and then we're going to target the results options. Say radio 2 or radio 3. So if I I don't see the radios. If I check any of them, then I do see option 2, option 3, option 1. That's awesome. That is freaking cool. And then we're going to say checks. Why is this showing up? You should not be able to see. That's because of the single underscore. There you go. Cool. Now if I check a radio, you selected option 1. That's fantastic. I feel like I should have some margin or padding or something. Where is... BR. Okay, BR tags. BR tags is how we're doing everything here. Cool. That should probably live in there. So now, ooh, that's annoying. I guess that kind of needs to live in there. There, now it's displayed none. That's not what I wanted. Whatever, that'll work. Okay, so select option 1. Let's go with the checks. If any of those are checked, let's go here. No, here. Let's go here. And we basically want to do the same thing. If any of the checkboxes are checked, we want this guy to show. So radio checkbox. Cool. Hopefully option 3 checkbox. What did I call it? For select. Here's my ID here. Checkbox 1, checkbox 2, checkbox 3. Okay, I'm getting close. Checkbox 1 is checked. Ah, that's because that should be checks. There you go. Okay. You selected option 3 with checkboxes 1, 2. No, just option 3. Checkbox 1, 2, 3. Cool, 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 cool. Something like that. That's pretty good. I do want these checkboxes. Let's do this. Let's call display block, maybe. Yeah. Yep, that's what I want. You selected option 3. It does checkboxes. You selected option 2, option 1, and then checkbox with checkbox 2, checkbox 3. Cool. Checkbox 1, checkbox 3. Awesome. No JavaScript required. Okay, let's see about adding some validation to these inputs. Let's say my radio inputs are all required. That kind of works. Sure, that kind of works. Yo, what up, B1 Mind? Sorry I had to start a late stream today because I had a doctor's appointment. But I made some good progress. I don't know how long you've been watching, but check out this conditional rendering with CSS only, or like computed rendering. You can see whatever radio option and whichever checkbox is, we see the result. Pretty cool. CSS only, baby. And it's not even a lot of CSS. It's literally this. I mean, it's not like a tiny bit of CSS either, but I feel like it could maybe be a little bit cleaner. But first take, this ain't too bad. I think the probably the biggest problem with this is it grows linearly with the amount of conditional rendering you want to show. And I feel like maybe JavaScript you could do something a little bit more logarithmically, or not, won't continue to grow. Anyway, this is cool. It works pretty well, and it's, I don't know, I think that there's a system here. Actually, since you're on, let me pick your brain on this. I kind of feel like essentially what I have here is I have some form inputs that have IDs, right? Every form input should have an ID, so that's what I'm using to say whether it's checked or not. And then my idea is we basically say which ones should be rendered with the class, kind of. Well, actually right now it's just like the ID of the input and the class of the element that is conditionally rendered. They're pretty disjoined, so they're not really connected. And then the only connection is you say, hey, if the form has the radio that's checked, and then you find the element with the class, go ahead and like show it. And I'm wondering if maybe there's a better syntax for like writing this. So like maybe show when like radio 1 checked or something like that, right? So then the class kind of explains it, and then fundamentally this would actually work. Let's hit save on that. This would work exactly the same, except instead of this line you'd have a line like this. Let's uncomment that, and then we need this class to actually be the class. The first part would actually work the same, but then this would actually kind of speak a little bit more to what's going on, and then you just need like a backslash there and a backslash there. Yo, Genghis Cow 7. Thanks for the follow. I hope I didn't completely butcher that name. But anyway, yeah, like I'm saying, maybe you have some sort of class that's like, hey, show under this condition when radio 1 is checked. And then that way, data attribute, man, the whole data attribute thing, I don't know about that. But in theory, if I click this radio, boom, it shows, right? The whole styling by data attributes, I don't know how, you're basically reinventing classes, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen some arguments about it and around the logic, but yeah. I just like, what is the benefit to using data attributes over classes? And I think the only thing that I saw is with data attributes, you can actually say something like data dash poop, and then you have key values, right? Because that's the key. And then you can say, oh, well, I don't want to just style, like I want to style based on just if it exists, or if it equals gross, or if it like begins with something, right? Yeah. So that like, but you can accomplish the same with CSS. Or or yeah, the little squiggly, that's like contains, right? Begins with G, or like I think that's what the tilde does, is just like if it contains Ross, right? All of those could be true, but honestly, you can literally accomplish the same thing. Well, no, I was gonna say you can literally accomplish the same thing by changing like class and just ignore that one, right? If the class equals a certain thing or contains a certain thing or ends with a certain thing. I don't know. I've heard it. I really tried to like, so my first impression is sort of like with Tailwind too. I was like, styling based on data attributes, really gross. I don't see the benefit. I haven't actually, and then I was like, well, let me give some time, but then you have no key. Well, right, you don't, but the key is like BEM style classes, right? You can say, you can construct a class that's like, whatever, dot gross underscore dirty poop, something like that, right? And I think that my problem is like I like didn't give it a shot to begin with, and I was like, well, let me actually read it. You hate BEM. Yeah. I did it because I'm used to it, and it's like worked for me, and I've worked with it for such a long time. But I did try to read that article that was like, these are why you should be using data attributes for styling. And that key value thing, I think there is some advantage to it, but at the same time, it's like BEM has definitely gotten me far enough that I don't know. Oh, excuse me. I'm dying. Hey, you weren't here for the beginning of the video. I did an unboxing. Check this baby out. Oh, I'm dying. So hopefully between this and, oh shoot. Oh no. No, it doesn't have USBs. I mean, it only has USB-C. Dang, that might be a problem. All right, I'm gonna have to figure that out. Shoot, stupid computers. Anyway. Yeah, so it's supposed to be a lot better. So hopefully I can run VS Code and OBS and Chrome and all that stuff. It's like quite a lot heavier than my computer, but you know, for a work computer, that's kind of okay. It's mostly just gonna sit there. 14-inch screen. 14-inch screen is the perfect size, if you ask me. Okay, cool. Let's see. What are we doing now? Yeah, we did conditional rendering. Okay, there's one more thing that I want to do, and that is we've got the conditional rendering. I want to do these like fancy selects. So I'm going to do a Pokemon selector or Pokemon picker. Nah, probably not Pokemon. I'm going to do some sort of picker. We're going to see what we have available on icons. What do we got? Pet picker? I don't know. Let's find an interesting library. I need something to pick between. Maybe like a VS Code icons. Hell yeah. That's what we're doing. We're going to do favorite JavaScript library. Something like that. Okay, down here, we're going to have a new field set. Field set. Yeah, I like it. And then we're going to go... Oh, I missed it. So I want to do essentially one of those UIs where you have like different cards to pick from. So let's go... I don't know. Let's do like card plus card 1, 2, 3. Do I need to do that? Yeah, card, and then we'll throw in the number there, and then inside of the card we'll have. Oh, can I do something like this? What happens if I do that? No. I don't know how you do nested stuff. Oh no, I do know how you do nested stuff. Inside of the card, we're gonna have I don't know, something like all right, I stopped thinking. I'm dancing now. Okay, inside of the card we'll have like a title, so that'll be title whatever for the number, and then that's gonna need to be like H3. And then we'll also have the SVG. Okay, and then I've got all that, and I want to multiply. I think I need to do something like this. All that. No. That times 3. I don't know. Let's see if I got this. Oh, I nailed it. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Title 1, 2, 3 with the heading and the SVG. Freaking sweet. I don't know. That was pretty cool, right? I think that was cool. Okay. So let's grab. Ooh, bacon. Twitter emojis. That's not what I clicked. I wanted VS Code icons, didn't I? No Twitter emojis. I want VS Code icons, please. Ooh, a little bit of delay, I think, on the stream, but that's all right. Okay, VS Code icons. We've got Bower in there. Do we have? Oh, here we go. Load all 964, please. All right, what are we gonna do? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Angular, React, Vue. What do you think, Brant? I want 3 options. We've got some Prisma. We've got some stuff. I'm going to go with HTML, I think. So let's copy the SVG. Let's throw that right there. Let's close that. SVG, there should be a CSS one here somewhere. Ooh, Caddy server, all right. Feels like CSS. That's C#. Where my CSS at? C. It's gotta be on this line. This is circle CI. Imagine they're in alphabetical order. That's Firebase. Dart. Cypress. There it is. No, yes, CSS. Ah, there it is. Okay, CSS. Cool. I love that the branding for HTML5 and CSS3 went so hard that that's like the official logos now. All right, and then we need a JavaScript, please. There it is. Boom. Nope. Boom. 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 Okay, let's go. This SVG needs to be replaced. Here's a clip. I gotta check this clip out really quick. Let's throw that up on the. Let's see. Let's close that. Let's pause this and let's check this out. Oh, I can't hear it. Times 3. I don't know. Let's see if I got this. Oh, I nailed it. That's funny. Oh, cool. Cool clip. Nice catch. Okay, so we're going to go HTML, and then we're going to go CSS, and then we're going to go JavaScript. And then we've got these cards. Sorry, Brent, I'm going to make you watch through some BEM stuff, but, you know, that's okay. So card, it's going to have, I think we're done with that. Don't need that. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, cool, looking good. This is a field set, which is fine. What I want is to be able to click. I want to be able to click on a whole card. Let's see. Let's add some more tough decisions to make here. H3, we're going to do something like HTML under the SVG. We'll do the foundation of any website. And then we'll go CSS is going to be styles to make your mama proud. And then JavaScript is going to be fancy dancy movements and stuff. I don't even think that's how you spell dancy. There you go. Is that dancy? No, that's definitely dancy. Cool. Let's see. Have I started using? Okay. So Tailwind and Has. I don't think that they've. You start using Tailwind, might stop watching. Tailwind is actually, well, I'm not going to speak for Tailwind, but I think atomic styles are actually really good for some things. When I want to use this like reusable padding, sort of design tokens for padding, it's really nice to be able to have just like a P1, P2, whatever. I think that I don't really love how Tailwind. I don't really love Tailwind's decisions around some of their values, like their naming for things. I think that they went for industry standard names instead of CSS names. I like to let the platform lead. So for things like letter spacing, which the industry refers to as kerning, kerning is how much space is between letters. That's like magazine design or print design naming convention. CSS, it's letter spacing. So if it was up to me, I would have called it letter spacing. That way, when I learn when I know CSS, I don't have to learn something new. I also don't love that they use different sizes for things like font sizes. You're going to use SM, MD, LG, XL, 2XL, 3XL, and then also for screen sizes, which there is not a consistency between font size and screen size. But then if you're going to use borders, it's like border 1, border 2. So you're using numeric values. Same with margin and padding. And then if you're doing border widths, it's like thin, medium, thick. So yeah, just for me, I tried creating something that would address those issues. It's really hard to create something in that line of work because, hey, naming stuff is hard. But I think I have the solution. I just can't build it. I have the solution in theory. Particles.austingill.com. PRTCLSCSS.com. Particles CSS. So I don't know if I've showed this to you. Did I? Is it it is particlescss.com. There we go. Particles CSS is something that you also may hate, and that's okay. But the idea is you import a library that I call CSS, or like a function that I call CSS, and then you write and you pass in whatever CSS you actually want. So padding, like actual CSS values, background. You can also do it in you can also do it as, where is it? Like JavaScript object notation. Yeah, design systems. I'm glad that I am not responsible for design systems. It would be so hard. Brad Frost is really smart. He's worked on it for a long time. He's thought about a lot of things that are way beyond the scope of what I know. But anyway, my whole idea was like, I really like the idea of atomic CSS as a result, but I really like the authoring of regular CSS. So in my opinion, the idea is like you just write regular CSS into a function, and then at build time or transpile time, the function splits out your results into atomic CSS. So you actually don't even have to think about naming, right? You just know how to write the actual syntax of the language. It handles the naming for you, and the reason why it goes with atomic CSS is so that you avoid any duplication. So where in this example we have the same padding on two different elements and then a different background, you only see that padding repeated once, or I guess not repeated at all, and you just get unique values. And that's fine for writing, but then the next question is like, what if I want reusable, like what if I don't want to remember that 10 pixels is like the go-to, or that our brand colors are red and blue? So then, and you can read all this if you want, then the idea is, well, what if you have a way of passing in tokens, right? You can define tokens in some config file, and then those tokens and those tokens are like type checked. So if you try and access like the token, it'll say, hey, these are all the tokens that you've defined. You have a system for colors, and you have a primary color, and you can just like pass that in here. So now you can avoid magic numbers and values that are only used in one place and say, hey, we only want to use the tokens, right? And it also supports things like variants, which, because of how it's built, it actually has all variants built in. So even as soon as has lands in the browser, technically this library supports any future variant or like pseudo selector, because it just takes it and like creates a custom class out of it and like applies that to the naming of the class. I don't know if that makes sense. Hard to explain, but variants like hover states or before and after pseudo elements or has selectors, things like that. And then, yeah. And I had this working, and I'll explain why it also still failed, but give me one more moment. Yep, media queries you can do, and you can even do very complex things like define the color, but then on a certain screen define a different color, but then on that certain screen and during hover define, like, change the color as well. So that was pretty cool. And then as far as the config with the tokens go, as long as you have a file called particles config.js, and whatever it exports inside of this token object will be available in this callback function. So we have tokens include size and then the number 8, and you can do tokens, get the size, and then add value number 8. This was a syntax I never really loved because I want to reference the number 8, but I wish it could be like size.8. I don't know. Unfortunately, that's just how objects work. If you give it a number, you have to use bracket notation. And so it worked. But the problem is this has to be better than whatever is already out there, and there are scenarios where it's worse. So for example, sharing styles across multiple elements, or having like inheritable styles don't work that great. Or being able to dynamically or like reference a dynamic value, even if it's not a run like dynamic at runtime. Let's say I wanted to have a constant in this line that's like, I just want to reuse this 10 pixels. I'll pull that out into a variable and then assign it to a string of 10 pixels. You can't reference the variable here because of how transpilation works and the abstract syntax tree and all that. Got to be a real pain in the butt. You basically like, it can't be dynamic. The only place that I could make it dynamic is inside of this callback function, because I effectively parse the file in the transpilation step. I parse the file that this function is being executed in. I grab the line that it's being executed in. I grab the function, and the way that you actually get the source code is as a string. So I grab this string of text, which is the function definition, and then I pass that to JavaScript's exec function, which is kind of dangerous to do on a client-side application, probably safe as a build tool application. And basically basically convert that from a string that defines a function into an actual running function. But I don't have access to anything outside of the scope of this block of text. So I can access the T here. I can turn this into a callback function. I can execute it, and then I can pass in what that T is going to be defined, which I import from the config file, if that makes sense. So that then this can actually be parsed and converted. It's kind of hard to explain. It's very mouth coding right now. But yeah, anything that would be like in this file outside of the scope of this, anything outside of these CSS parentheses would not be accessible to me as a transpiler author. So yeah, there's that problem. There's like the composability of what if I have two different classes, right? Like let's go back to this one. I could say I have a button red and a button blue. Well, what if I just had a regular class that was like a button class, and then I had one that was red and one that was blue? How can I compose those? That's actually kind of tricky. You ended up like rewriting a lot of the same stuff. Technically it works, but the developer experience was kind of bad. So I'm still thinking about it. It's something that I like put on hold for maybe a year now. I do want to come back to it. I just have to, I don't know, figure out some of those problems. Transpiled build tools. Yeah, I mean, it's basically, I don't know, the transpilation step basically takes an entire file, turns it into an abstract syntax tree, which is kind of interesting. But how can I explain this? I don't know. You take a file and you basically transform it into, you can transform different sections of the file based on certain rules. So the transpiler will like walk through the file and say, oh, does this part of the file match what you're looking for? In my case, it was like, hey, any file that actually imports this CSS function from this library, if you see that pattern, I'm interested in this file. And then the transpiler will be like, hey, yeah, I got a file that has that matches that sort of definition. What's the next step? And then I'll say, cool, read through that file, and it reads through as a string. Sorry, total rabbit hole here, but it is really fascinating. This is my first foray into transpilers. But it's interesting because it's like, it's parsing this file. Think of it as like reading it line by line as a string. And then you say, hey, when you reach a certain string in that file that looks like this, it has a space, or essentially not like another letter, but let's just say like if it has a space and then the letters CSS and then a parentheses, I'm interested in everything inside of every next line up until the closing parentheses. I know that's kind of hard to explain or understand. I guess I just don't know it very well, because I feel like if you know something, you should be able to explain it to someone that doesn't understand it. And I guess I don't explain it very well, which means I don't know it very well, but that's okay. sucking at something is the first step to being kind of okay at something. All right, so what we want to do next, getting back into CSS, I want to add some styles for these cards. So we're going to say border. We're going to say 2 pixels solid. 2 pixels solid, that's fine. Cool, we've got that. I'm going to say the cards probably should have a wrapper around it. We're going to grab those, and we're going to say it's going to be a div with a class equal to cards. Yeah. Hey, you want to see something cool too? Check out what's going on here at the top of my editor. I've got HTML body form field set, and as I scroll, that kind of sticks around. I enabled a new setting on VS Code that is called, what's it called? Sticky block or something like that. So where I have this, where'd it go? Like this line, when you have a line, like a block with like a long scrolly part, this will actually get stuck. Sticky parents, yeah. I just started, so we'll see. For the most part, I don't actually notice it, but you know, this is a weird one. Actually, I just noticed a weird issue where this is the first line, and that's the only line that actually sticks, but the rest doesn't. So I don't know, maybe a little bit buggy for CSS anyway, but who really needs it for CSS, right? I don't know if I'd need it for HTML. No, for HTML, it's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I don't know. I also feel like most of my scanning is done in the middle of the editor. So having this stuff up at the top is not super helpful. But if I had something that did go beyond the span of the entire screen, then it would be helpful. So, yeah. Okay, let's go here. Let's go down here, right? We've got the cards are going to be display, flex, and then gap of, I don't know, 1 rem. This is where I would like atomic CSS. Yeah, that's good enough. Maybe 0.5 rem. No, one rem is fine. We're just zoomed in. Cool. Yeah, that looks good. Good enough. Okay, I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do border radius of 0.5 rem. Yeah, it kind of matches 0.25 rem. 0.25 rem. Kind of matches the rest of the aesthetic. And then we need some padding on that. I'm gonna do padding. Gosh, you remember layouts before Flexbox? 0.5 rem. Sorry, I had to take you back there. Cool. So basically what I want is I want this entire section to be clickable. And I want it to like turn on whatever I have selected. So let's do this. I'm gonna do here's how I'm gonna do it. Where's my cards? This field set needs to go. Needs to go in there. This legend is going to be, let's see. What's your fave front end language? There you go. And then we're gonna have input I'm gonna do input times 3. Okay. Something like that. Table floatland. Ugh. Yeah. Floats were alright. I mean, I did alright with floats. Okay, so what I need to do is this H3. These H3s need to wrap. No. These H3s need to wrap. Nope. How do I do it again? That's how I do it. Okay, these H3s. I want the contents to be wrapped in a label. 4 equals that. Cool. And then I want this to be HTML. I want this to be CSS. I want this to be JS. Probably should be like card picker, CSS, HTML, whatever. But yeah, it's fine. We're going to go here. We're going to go ID equals, and then we'll say HTML, and then CSS, and then JS. Because we're going to have these select one or the other, these are going to be types of radio. And then it's going to have a name. It's good. All has to have the same name so that the logic will work. This is going to be, I don't know, front end fave. Sure. And then label 4. So we have the label is going to be connected to it. And then I'm going to give it an aria described by. And I'm going to go here. Yep. This is going to also need an ID. I really wish you could, like, aria description needs to happen sooner. But we're going to say HTML description. And then we'll say this is CSS description, and this is JS description. Now, aria described by is going to go for HTML description. Close that. Close that. This is going to be CSS. This is going to be JS. Okay. Cool, we are getting there. Now let's go here and say, I think you know where we're going with this. Form has, what is it? HTML checked, and then we'll do card -- HTML. This card -- 1. This should be HTML. This should be CSS. This should be JS. And card HTML. And then this is going to be CSS. This is going to be JS. And we're going to say border color. What's a good one? Goldenrod. Burlywood or goldenrod? Goldenrod. Goldenrod. That's going to be my CSS stripper nickname. Cool. If I select this one, that's selected. If I select the next one, and I can use my keyboard just fine. Also get, yep. Goldenrod. Yeah, it's either goldenrod. There's also dark goldenrod, light goldenrod, and burly wood. All excellent names. I actually kind of have a list of CSS stripper names that I want to share with the world. Okay, cool. That's working. Working and twerking. Now, I need something. I need these. To have a class equal to, I hate how it works, visually hidden. That's going to hide them from the DOM. Cool. What's your favorite programming language? The field set here, kind of weird. I like having the field set because it attaches it together. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could put the cards inside of that field set. I don't know what the behavior is for that, whether it should be or shouldn't be semantically. So I'm going to leave it out. The field set only pertains to those inputs. But then let's see, if we look at this field set, if we look at this input, if we inspect the accessibility details, we do see that it is part of the group, what's your favorite front-end language? It's a radio with the label HTML, I think. Let's see, role is radio, checked as false, focusable true, description, the foundation of any website, label is HTML. Cool. Yep, looks good. And then, are you talking? That's great. Are you talking about my website, or are you talking about what are we talking about? Okay, I'm gonna grab these SVGs. Gonna give these aria hidden attribute. Aria hidden, I think, has to actually be true. I don't remember. And then we're going to get a role of presentation. Just for design aesthetics. We could also give it like a label that's like HTML icon, CSS icon, JavaScript icon. Maybe. I still don't know if these are just for presentation or actual content. Anyway, we want to, so we can click these labels now to select them. Now I want this entire box to be selectable. I don't want the entire label to read HTML, the foundation of any website though. That's not what I want. That's why we only put the label around the title. Yeah. But we're going to take this a step further and make the entire thing clickable by saying card is going to be position relative, and then the dot card label is going to be position fix. What do I want? I think I want position fixed, and then inset 0, something like that. No, not fixed. Static. No, I think I got that wrong. Let me see. Inclusive design. This is going to have the pattern I want. Inclusive components. There you go. I want a card component. Give me just a minute. Hey, focus text. No, this is... Nope, it's up here further. Where is it? The pseudo content trick. This is what I want. That's it. Okay. Container position island, get the. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, got it. Right. Label after element should be position absolute. There we go. Now that's in the right spot. If I click over here, no, where is it? Hey, where is it? Can a label have an after? I don't know. Let's see. Let's add a new rule. Label after. Silly me. Content. There we go. Of course, as soon as I start writing it. Okay, label can have an after attribute. Great. So now if I click down here, we do select any of them, which is great. What I need to fix now is one more thing to make this a little bit harder on us is Wikipedia. Forget it. I'm not going to put an actual link, but I need what happens if we have a link in here, right? We're going to say to any website, and then we go something like href equals boop boop. We're going to say read more, which itself is not quite the accessibility forward thinking. Yeah, right? Oh. Yeah, I feel like if you just define a before or after, it should just have that. Okay, so now the problem is if I try and click on this read more, I'm actually clicking on the label, which you can see by me double clicking or triple clicking. So what we need to do is say card, any focusable element. I'll just keep it simple to a link. We want this to be position static. And then I think I want it to have like a Z index, maybe. Where is it? There's my P. There's that. Z index 1. Nope, let's see. Inclusive components. Basically copying other people's work. Where is it? Pseudo content trick. Yeah. Demo. Forward and stop cursor. Okay. Not static. Relative. There we go. Now I can click the link. And then anywhere else, we'll click the actual box. Very nice. That's a cool little trick with CSS. You don't technically need the has selector for that. We could have just as well put the inputs right before their respective cards, and then use like a what's it called? Next sibling selector. But I don't know which version I like better. On one hand, I like that this keeps the inputs all next to each other with the field set. On the other hand, if you move these inputs next to the cards, then you are keeping the same responsibilities together. Like all of the stuff related to HTML is going to be next to the HTML card. I don't know. Something to think about. But we've got that. We have one more issue here, and that is our focus, let's see. Yeah, our focus states. So we're going to say where am I defining focus visible and outline? Control has focus visible. Yeah. I'm going to add another thing here, and we're going to say something like this. Form has, instead of just checked, we're going to go focus visible. Okay, did I get that right? Totally did. Okay, that's a really weird issue. Okay, this is a weird issue. I'm going to go back on how I would have done this. This works with has. Has allows us to do this, but keeping the inputs next to the boxes probably works better, because I don't know how clear this is to you because I'm doing keyboard navigation. But if I reload and I go through the form, and now I'm on, let's see, I'm on the first checkbox is focused. And because the first, radio. Because the first radio is focused, my first HTML box is outlined. Now if I tab again, I go to the read more of the HTML because that's the next focusable element in the DOM. If I tab again, I go to CSS. If I tab again, I go to JavaScript. Only the read more of those. I think it would make more sense that the tab order would go, well, if I tab again, I go to the submit button. Now, if I tab backwards, I would kind of like to see this JavaScript outlined. But if I go backwards, we go read more, read more, read more, and then we go to JavaScript, which is weird. And then if we go back, we go to select. And that's because none of these are selected. See, that's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't love that. Easy enough to fix, I think. We can keep the same styles that we have. I think this field set is going to have to go down around the cards. And then these inputs are going to have to go around their respective cards. So let's go, that's for HTML. That's for CSS. That's for JS. So now let's see what the tab order looks like. We go to HTML, read more about HTML. CSS, read more about CSS. JavaScript, read more about JavaScript. This itself is also a little bit weird. Unexpected behavior. Because as a keyboard user, when you have a group of radio buttons, if you're tabbing through the form, it should technically go select box here. Next tab would go to the first radio option, and then the next tab would actually skip the other two radio options and go straight to the next control, which would be the submit. And if you're going backwards, if none of the radios are checked, it will go to the last element in the DOM, the last radio in the DOM. And then if you go back again, it will skip the previous two radios and go to the select. So I wonder if that's just a matter of these links being here. I think we can happily get rid of them. And now let's see if this actually does behave. Okay, so this is how I would expect it. So it's just that those links are kind of throwing it off. So that's probably fine then. Because, yeah, if we had links in between radio buttons, then that is how it would work. Cool. Now let's actually select the CSS. Cool, it's working. And if I select it with just the mouse, we don't see that outline. That's fine. I don't know why this outline is here, to be honest. Let's do if my focus is... Huh. Anyway, this is, I think this may be as far as I'm going to take has. I'm going to try and rebuild this without has because I don't think we need it. So this has all of these. Dupe can go. I'll just do those checked ones. Plus, in fact, we can even just keep it simple and just go with the card. And my outline here. Simplify that a bit. It should work just the same. Yes, it does. All right, so we don't need has for that. I think this works. But the cool thing that we can do with has that we could not do before is definitely this. Conditional rendering. Yeah, right? Like, you got to check those things. I don't know. My opinion is always keep the web working the way the web has always worked. And while the new, or like the first approach that we did technically worked and was interesting with CSS, I like things that work the way that they continue to work across websites that I'm used to. So. Man, we could do some interesting validation stuff too. I'm going to do some... Oops. Just opened the browser. I don't want I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna play around with some validation stuff really quick, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Let's go with this first input. And we're gonna say it's required. Min length is 3, and we're gonna say something like, I don't know, max length of 5, 6, sure. Now I've got this check. And I'm going to do some validation here. I'm going to say control validation. Nope, what happened there? Validation. No, control errors. I'm going to say errors. And we're going to go something like span control error. It's going to be, I don't know, this field is required, right? I think we'll do something like aria described by, and we'll say whatever, errors, whatever. That should be a better ID name, but we'll just keep it simple. ID is going to be errors and yeah, let's see what we can do. This field is required. That's interesting. Yeah. That's in the wrong spot. There you go. There you go. This field is required. Okay, let's try this. Let's go style.css. Control. Let's do, where's the validation? Valid, invalid, display unset. Here we go. Okay, let's do control errors. Color tomato, right? Might as well throw that up with the other one. Okay, don't need you. And here's what I'm gonna do that I think might get a little bit interesting. Let's go. With these guys. And we're gonna say control has that if that's invalid, yeah, this is good. This, okay, what I'm about to do you couldn't really do without the has. So we're gonna say invalid what is it? We're gonna go if it's required and it's invalid, we're gonna go control error required. Display unset. Unset. Gosh, this is going to be so much I can actually do with this. Okay. Here we go. Control error, display none. Okay, let's see. I want to see if the control has an invalid input that is required. Ah, this won't work. So what I was going to see is if I could show and hide different validation error messages based on the state of the input, like which part was required, or if it's required, if it's invalid because it's required, or min length or max length. It's not going to work because ultimately, even if you have it, the only thing I can check is whether it contains a required attribute or a min length attribute or a max length attribute. But if any of those is invalid, all of those are going to be true. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's not going to work. Dang. So close to having CSS only validation error messages. At least I didn't put too much effort into that. All right, that might be as far as I'm going to take it today. And that might be as far as I'm going to take this actual exploration of has and forms. I can only think of like, yeah, that would be slick, but you know, that is the sort of thing that is probably better done with JavaScript, because you really probably want to toggle ARIA attributes like valid or invalid, ARIA described by, you probably want to toggle and like have the error messages injected dynamically, or just default to, you know, the native browser one. And we have a pretty cool CSS only validation stuff here. I just didn't check if these checkboxes are required. Let's go, where's my checkbox? Up here. I'm gonna say checkbox 2. That's my select. Checkbox 2. Oh, come on, mouse. Is going to be required. Whoa, caps lock. And then here we like go through them. Oh, checkbox 2, gotta check it. There you go. And then we've got this dynamic stuff going on with the checkboxes. That's pretty cool. Cool. All right, that is gonna be it for the stream. You think this would be good? I don't know. I get really nervous talking about accessibility stuff because, like, I don't know. I don't consider myself an expert. There's so many people that are so much better at it than I am. Which, you know, you don't have to be the best, but that's something that I don't like to say. I don't want to give bad information. Oh, I have a video, like we did it on a stream once. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's go youtube.com/c/Hey Austin Gill. I got my unique thing. Although I couldn't get Austin Gill for some reason, which is annoying. But let's go. Hey Austin Gill. Gonna take forever for some reason. Let's go videos. It should be something way back. Way, way, way back. Man, I got a lot of videos. Dang, all this live streaming. Progressive enhanced forms with JavaScript. Did a lot of streams on this. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I try to be. I just think, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of streamers out there or developers out there that maybe don't care or maybe like just want to get to the final product. And I think that I am spending more of my time teaching these days. And it's not like I feel, I don't know, it's not like I vindicate people that do things the wrong way or whatever. But I just think that it's how I enjoy to code. Like, let me try and do this. Let me get it working. Let me see if there's any way that I can improve it. Let me see if there's anything that I missed that I need to like be mindful about. And yeah, let's see how good we can make it. Yeah, that form stuff. Like, I love doing forms. I love doing forms. The JavaScript stuff, adding JavaScript to forms, actually takes a lot of effort to do it well. But I think that video covers it. I mean, biased opinion, but covers it pretty comprehensively in terms of semantics, accessibility, and it goes into the validation stuff. Well, it goes into two things. It goes into progressive enhanced form submission and progressive enhanced form validation, which are basically all you really have to worry about with forms. There's something that could have gone better. One thing, let me challenge you, Brent, since I got you. One thing that you could do to make that validation better is attach on the submission process. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll go back to that project. But on the submission process, attach a abort signal to the fetch so that when someone spams a form submission, you actually end up aborting a promise. And I think technically, I mean, some people say that you should add an abort signal to like every promise now, but yeah, it's too bad they don't have that built in. Ooh, all right. You got a link you can send me? Let me check it out. But yeah, late stream for me today, so I'm going to drop. I think it's probably late where you're at too. But yeah, hit me up with the link with that Svelte kit stuff, because I don't do Svelte. It does look pretty cool though. And anything that's like clever progressive enhancement stuff that I can, steal some methods or some learning resources from, it's good stuff. All right, duders, duderino, duderuski. Yeah, let me know. Also, let me know if you come up with any other interesting ways to use has specifically in the context of a form. That'd be cool. I like what we did here. What do we cover? Some validation hints with has, yes. Some dynamic rendering content with has, yes. This one we decided does not need has. And we did some validation feedback on the form itself. Cool. Expect a video and or blog post coming out soon. All right, man.